Hello dear students, how are you all? I will hope you all are fine. So dear students, today we are going to start second part of chapter combustion and flame. And in this section we'll discuss about fuels, fossil fuels, coal and how the coals are formed on earth and petroleum and how petroleum is formed and refining of petroleum. So these are the main concept of today's section. First is fuels. You all know that what is fuel? The substance that gives us heat. Fuel is that substance that can be used to produce a heat for at a reasonable cost is known as fuel. The substance that provide us heat and produce heat at a reasonable cost is known as fuels. As a fuels. Got it, student? What is a fuel? The fuel is a substance that can be used to produce heat at reasonable cost. For example, wood, coal, LPG, CNG, petrol, diesel, all are the fuels. Now, next is fossil fuel. What are the fossil fuel? Fossil fuels are those that are made up of ancient animals and the plants that are buried under the soil for the millions of years. For the millions of years, and due to high pressure and temperature condition and the lack of air, they are converted into coal and petroleum. They are known as fossil fuels. They are known as fossil fuels. For example, coal, petroleum, natural gas are known as fossil fuels. So let us discuss how they are made up of. First we discuss coal. Coal is a fossil fuel and it is a black in color. Coal is a fossil fuel and it is a black in color and a hard as a stone. It was formed over a period of millions of years by gradual decay of and compression of the buried remains of ancient forest. That means the forest of ancient time that are buried under the soil. Suppose these are the forests, they are buried under the soil due to the tectonic movement of the plates, of the tectonic plates, geological movement of tectonic plates. The number of the layers of the soil are covered over it, and due to high pressure and temperature conditions, they convert into coal. And how they are formed? About 300 million years ago, due to high pressure and temperature condition, these forests are convert into coal, and the slow process of formation of coal is known as carbonization. The slow process of formation of the coal from the plants is known as carbonization. So remember beta, what is the carbonization process? The slow process of formation of the coal from the plants is known as carbonization, and the took place is called carboniferous age, and the age in which it is completed up is known as carboniferous age. Carboniferous age. So now let us discuss content of coal. Coal mainly contains carbon and hydrogen. Consists of carbon and hydrogen. Mainly it is made up of carbon and hydrogen, and other components are nitrogen, sulfur, oxygen are also present in it. There are three main types of coal. First is anthracite. This is considered as best variety of coal. Why? Because it contains 96% carbon, which is considered as the best variety of coal, anthracite, and it contains 96% carbon. That's why it considered as best variety of coal. Next is bituminous. Bituminous has about 65% of carbon. Bituminous contains 65% of carbon, and it is the second most best variety of coal. And the lower variety of the coal is lignite, and it contains 38% of carbon. So these are three variety of coal. And what happen when we burn the coal in air? We know that when we burn the coal in air, it's form carbon dioxide and it is acidic oxide. When the coal burn in insufficient oxygen supply and lack of oxygen, then it's from carbon monoxide. When coal burn in complete supply of oxygen, then it's release carbon dioxide, and when coal burn in insufficient supply or say that lack of oxygen, then it's from carbon monoxide. Okay, so one more thing is important here. We all know that where is the coal is used? Coal is used to generate electricity in thermal power plants. How they help in it? Thermal power plants are big chambers of the water are present, and we are heat up these water vessels with the help of coal, and after heating the water convert into vapors, and due to the pressure of the vapors we need to rotate the turbine, and turbine connect with the generator to generate electricity. And that's why in this method the thermal power plant generate the electricity with the help of coal. And in India, where it is found, coal is found in Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, and Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. These are some states where the coal is generally found. Now, next is an important process known as destructive distillation. Destructive distillation process. Why we do the destructive distillation? Destructive distillation is carried out because we make the useful product from the coal. We get the useful product from the coal, so that's why we do the destructive distillation of coal. Sorry. And it is done by heating the coal strongly at 1000 degrees Celsius in absence of air. This is a condition of destructive distillation. Heating the coal strongly to 1000 degrees Celsius in absence of air, and it yields the various useful inorganic and organic products. First is coke. The residue that left from the coke in a test tube is known as coke. Coal is coke. The residue left behind when the destructive distillation of the coal is carried out is known as coke. And coke is work like as a charcoal. Coke is work like a charcoal, and it is a good fuel and burns with no smoke. It is a good fuel and burns with no smoke. बिना धुएं के साथ जलता है. It also used to reduce the metal oxides. It also used to extraction of metals, and you will study about metal extraction in metallurgy process in class 10th, such as iron, zinc oxide to get the metals. Next is coal gas. Coal gas is a mixture of the hydrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. Coal gas is a mixture of hydrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide and other gases. It was earlier used to domestic cooking and lighting, but it is not much used now. In the earlier, जब शुरुआत में था तो इसे कुकिंग के लिए यूज़ किया जाता, but now it's not used much now because LPG and CNG are take place of this gas now. Next is coal tar. Coal tar is a thick viscous liquid mainly used for road construction. Coal tar is a thick liquid, viscous liquid mainly used for road construction. It contains the several carbon compounds. It is also used to make pesticides, explosives, synthetic fibers, perfumes, naphthalene balls to repel moths and insects. You know that naphthalene balls that are used in your clothes to repel the moths and insect. Dyes, paints, etc. are made from coal tar. However, today these compounds are mostly obtained from petroleum. Nowadays, these compounds are mostly obtained from petroleum. Next is ammonium compounds. They are given in the of during the destructive distillation of coal. The distilled water, then the ammonical liquor is used to making the nitrogenous fertilizer. Okay, so how it is done? There is an experiment is given here. First of all, we take the coal here and start to burn and pass a delivery tube through the test tube B, and test tube B have a water in it, and the another second tube is passed out, and this side tube is passed out here. When the gas or vapors present to form and pass through the delivery tube accumulate here, and some are condensed to sediment to form coal tar, and remaining vapors are dissolved in water to form ammonia liquor, and the most remaining that are not dissolved, they are from the coal gas. This is a complete procedure of destructive distillation. I hope students you got it well. Next is petroleum. Petroleum or crude oil is found or trapped in underground rocks. So that's why its name comes from petroleum, from petra means rocks and oilum means oil. That means rock oil. Its another name is rock oil, and it is a mixture of several hydrocarbons. That means compound of hydrogen and carbon in the molecules varying from 1 to more than hundreds, like a polymer of hydrogen and carbon. The different components in the petroleum are separated and used in various ways. Their most important use is a fuel, as a petrol, diesel, kerosene are the some of the fuels that obtain from petroleum. Now origin. Origin is the same beta. It is found in generally seabeds because the sea animals that are dead, and they become buried by the layers of the sand, and under high pressure and temperature condition they convert into petroleum. occurrence. It is found in non-porous or impervious rocks. Impervious rocks or non-porous rocks, that means have no holes. That's why they do not release the gas. So one more thing is important here. The world's first oil well is yield petroleum dug in Pennsylvania, USA in 1859. When the first petroleum well is dug in Pennsylvania, 1859 in India, in Assam, Makam, 1867. And in India, some more regions where we obtain the oil as Assam, Gujarat, the Bombay High are the place and deltas of river Godavari and Kaveri. And the crude oil pumped out from the wells in the black liquid, because it is a importance in the today's world, they refer as a black gold because due to this importance and we obtain the lots of things from it, that's why it is called as black gold. Okay, there is better the lower layer and the water, over the water the crude oil is float and the gases are accumulate over it, and there are no impervious rocks, that means have a no holes and they accumulate here. That's why impervious rocks provide the high temperature pressure condition for formation of petroleum. Next is the method of refining of petroleum. How to refine the petroleum, that means how to extract the different substance from the crude petroleum. So this method is known as fractional distillation. That means at the different fraction we obtain the different substance. How it is happen? There is a fractionating column in which first of all we heat the crude petroleum at 4 degrees Celsius in a furnace, एक गर्म भट्टी में से गुजारते हैं. Then it start to heat up and convert into vapors. You know that which easily convert into vapor have a lower boiling point. जिसका lower boiling point होगा that easily convert into vapors. So first of all it's from LPG, liquid petroleum gas. Liquid petroleum gas, the gas that is obtained on the upper section and first evaporate after condensation, it's formed as liquid petroleum gas. Then second is gasoline or naphtha, third is kerosene, fourth is light oils, and fifth is heavy oil, and last is residues remaining in it. Last is residues remaining in it. Let us understand with the help of a table and remember that. First is petroleum gas. It is just boil below 40 degrees Celsius. A number of hydrocarbons is very few, 1 to 4. That means methane to butane. LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, fuel for the home and industry. Gasoline and naphtha, 90 to 165 degrees Celsius, 4 to 10 molecules, petrol, motor fuel, aviation fuel, and solvent for the dry cleaning. Kerosene, 150 to 245, 10 to 16 molecule, domestic fuel, jet engine fuel. Light oil, 250 to 315 degrees Celsius, 16 to 20, diesel, fuel for the motor vehicles, especially heavy vehicles. Electric generators. Heavy oil, 285 to 370 degrees Celsius boiling point, 20 to 25 molecules, useful organic chemicals. And residue, over 37 degrees Celsius, over 35. Lubricating oil like machinery, paraffin wax, candles, Vaseline, ointments, asphalt, bitumen, paints, road surfaces, etc. These are the some important substance that we extract from petroleum. And each fraction obtained itself as a mixture of the several hydrocarbons. Some of these are used in the sum as for the obtained. Uses of petroleum. So table list shows what are the uses of petroleum. Formation of lots of things from petroleum, especially organic substance, that we are obtained from petroleum. Next is natural gas. Natural gas is found along the petroleum in the reservoirs under the ground, and CNG is known as natural gas. Compressed natural gas is a complete name. It is chiefly made from methane through the tough butane and propane, and also present in small proportion. It can be easily transported through the pipes, and it is clean, non-polluting fuel known as CNG. It is used for the power generation in power plants, like coal is used to heat the water first. In some parts of India, for example Vadodara, CNG is supplied to homes and factories through the pipes and directly used as a fuel. CNG also being used as a non-polluting fuel for vehicles, and natural gas is used as a starting material for the manufacture of the number of the chemicals and fertilizers. Deposits of natural gas are found in India in Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and in the Krishna Godavari Delta. I hope students you got it. What are the uses of CNG? Name. Next is energy and technological development. Our energy needs have been increased at the tremendous pace due to the two main reasons. One is the increase in population, and other is a more important reason is that as we progress and develop new technologies, and we need more energy to run new factories and to power to new gadgets made by the new technologies. For example, tremendous development in the field of computer is the last few years has been made that the computers are now widely used in factories, offices, shops and homes. And manufacturing and using of these billions of the computer use a huge amount of electricity. And how this electricity is generated? These electricity is generated using the fossil fuels. Some areas in which energy consumption has increased several times as follows. Manufacturing goods in factories uses up huge amount of electricity. In agriculture, energy is needed for running the tube wells, tractors and other machines. Food processing and storage of the food in the cold storage houses use as a huge amount of electricity. Means of transportation require the large amount of energy in form of fuels or electricity. We use more and more energy at home today due to the increased number of the electrical gadgets such as refrigerators, air conditioner, washing machines, etc. And electricity is a major source of energy today. The use of electrical energies has shown in tremendous surge in the past few decades. That's why this is that. Next is both by the source of energy has been seen this chapter is produced in many ways both by conventional and non-conventional sources of energy, and setting up the new generation of the plants very expensive and time consuming. In India today we supply the electrical energy is far lower than the requirements. That's why we suffer power cuts. Several of our villages had not have the access of electricity. In several other villages where electricity is available, the supply is insufficient and unreliable. This affects the several ways. Our food production suffers as the sufficient electricity for proper irrigation is not available, and our industrial production suffer as the factories cannot run full time. Shortage of electricity also limits the use of new technologies for the development. All this affects the development of our country. Next is preventing energy crisis. As our energy needs increase the tremendous pace and energy crisis near the future is the distinct possibility. The step we need to be take to prevent this follows. अगर हमने आज स्टेप नहीं उठाया तो फ्यूचर में जाके एनर्जी क्राइसिस होने वाली है. हाउ टू प्रिवेंट इट? यूजिंग द एनर्जी judicially. Judicious use of the energy implies that we do not waste energy and that we use energy efficient method, not wasting energy. Switch off the lights, fans, etc. and we when not in use. Using air conditioner, room heaters, geysers, etc. only when they are needed. Reducing the flame while cooking and when the water starts boiling, so save fuel. Using the methods where the energy is spent in less. Using CFLs, LEDs and public transport instead of the private vehicles. There are so many ways are given here. So you read yourself beta. How to conserve the fuel and what are the how to reduce the energy crisis. I hope got it well. Thank you and have a nice day.